As y'all know, I've been changing my life.
Documenting her entire transformation journey, Angela's social media followers got a front row seat for her head-to-toe make-under, which included getting filler in her jaw, lips, and cheeks dissolved.
It's almost like I could see a different, almost instant.
Look, we all know beauty doesn't last forever, but these black women, these talented, once-in-a-lifetime artists, fought desperately to hold on to it. Under the crushing pressure of the public eye, the industry, and social media, they did whatever it took. Some pumped their faces full of filler, some enlarged their breasts to impossible sizes, some went back under the knife again and again, chasing that perfect look. But most of them, they weren't lucky. Some completely destroyed the faces the world once adored. Now they walk outside and no one even recognizes them. At night, they sit alone in front of the mirror, crying over the woman they no longer see. And when fans look at them today, they can only sigh. Tonight, we're going deep into the dark, heartbreaking truth behind 19 beautiful black actresses and stars who paid the ultimate price trying to stay beautiful. From secret injections, to total transformations, to irreversible regret. This one's gonna hit different. Stick with me, because some of these stories are truly shocking. 20. Angela Simmons, aggressive fillers and body work. As the daughter of Rev Run of Run DMC, Angela Simmons grew up in the spotlight on Growing Up hip-hop. Fans adored her naturally curvaceous figure, glowing skin, and pretty, youthful face with soft cheeks and bright smile, the fresh, approachable beauty that made her relatable and desirable. Chasing the ultra-sculpted Instagram ideal, she went aggressive, reported rhinoplasty to slim her nose, plus heavy fillers in her cheeks, jawline, and lips. The changes were dramatic and constant, giving her a sharper, more model-perfect look for years. Then came the reversal. In 2023 to 2024, Angela began dissolving the fillers. The aftermath was brutal and immediate. Her once full, plump cheeks deflated like balloons losing air, leaving sagging, slightly uneven skin with visible hollows and loose texture. During a candid Instagram Live from her Los Angeles home, she held up old photos side by side and admitted with a nervous laugh, that face was looking crazy. The comments flooded in. Some praised her honesty, but many mourned, bring back the old Angela. One painful viral clip from a 2024 family event showed her under harsh lighting, instinctively touching her cheeks and jaw as the camera caught the sagging and irregularities. She tried to smile through it, but the discomfort was obvious. The quest for perfection left permanent visible scars, loose skin, lost volume, and the constant need to explain her new old self. Angela is still beautiful, but the road back has been painfully public and visibly hard. 19. Faith Evans, the first lady of Bad Boy whose face no longer matched her voice. Faith Evans rose in the 1990s with her self-titled debut and the emotional powerhouse I'll Be Missing You, recorded after Biggie's death. Her rich, velvety R&B voice, elegant features, and soft, natural beauty made her a true queen of the genre, the kind of face and voice that felt intimately connected. Over time, her face changed noticeably. She had work done to refine and slim her nose, along with other cosmetic procedures that altered the overall structure. She rarely spoke about it directly. The emotional toll finally surfaced publicly in the mid-2000s. At a 2025 tribute performance in Los Angeles honoring 90s R&B, Faith delivered a flawless vocal that brought the crowd to tears. But when the close-up cameras panned in, her face looked tighter, less soft, and strangely unfamiliar. Social media immediately erupted. Where is the Faith we fell in love with? Old photos flooded timelines next to current ones, highlighting the loss of her once gentle, distinctive beauty. The most heartbreaking moment came weeks later. While shopping in a quiet boutique in Los Angeles, Faith tried on a dress. A young saleswoman, not recognizing her, casually said, "This style looks better on women with softer faces, more natural." Faith reportedly froze, quickly paid, and left without saying a word. In private conversations leaked by industry insiders, she expressed deep regret over losing the natural look that once defined her. The woman whose voice carried so much pain and power now walked around feeling invisible and judged by the very changes she once thought would help her. Faith still sings beautifully, But part of her legacy is now overshadowed by the transformation that stole the face fans had loved for decades. What was meant to be a quiet upgrade became a public mourning. 18. Vivica A. Fox, breast augmentation. In the mid-1990s, Vivica A. Fox lit up the screen in Independence Day, holding her own opposite Will Smith, then delivered a scene-stealing performance in Kill Bill. With her luminous smile, sharp cheekbones, and effortless charisma, she was one of Hollywood's most magnetic black leading ladies. She never hid her work. Breast augmentation and regular Botox became part of her routine, and she once quipped, "I'm not the first or the only one, but I'm the idiot that admitted to it." Over the years, the cumulative fillers and injections added up. Her once soft, expressive face grew tighter, cheeks higher and more pronounced, lips fuller in a way that slowly erased the natural warmth fans remembered. The backlash hit hardest around 2023 to 2025 red carpet events. At one Los Angeles premiere, cameras caught Vivica smiling for photos, but the internet exploded with side-by-side comparisons. She used to be so naturally pretty. What happened to her face? In a candid moment backstage, she was reportedly seen touching her cheek self-consciously before stepping out again. During a 2024 interview, her voice cracked slightly when the topic came up. She laughed it off with her classic humor, but the regret was visible. Vivica had wanted to stay camera-ready forever, yet the very procedures meant to preserve her beauty left her looking polished, but strangely frozen. Fans who grew up loving her genuine glow now mourned the version of her that no longer existed. The price of always looking better was waking up one day and barely recognizing the woman in the mirror. 17. Patti LaBelle, nose job she still defends at almost 80. For over 6 decades, Patti LaBelle has been a force, from Lady Marmalade in 1975 to her viral sweet potato pie moment that emptied Walmart shelves in 2015. Her 4-octave voice, rooted in gospel, made her one of the greatest singers alive. Her natural face carried the dignity and strength of a woman who had outlasted trends and tragedies. In her younger years, inspired by friend Stephanie Mills, Patti got a nose job. It was a small change, she said, simply made her feel better about herself. Decades later, at nearly 80 years old, she was still explaining that decision in a 2021 Oprah Daily interview. "If I hadn't seen her, I wouldn't have done it. It just made us feel better." The small alteration became a lifelong conversation. Every public appearance sparked fresh comments. Why did she mess with perfection? Or, she looked better before. In one emotional 2025 sit-down, an older fan asked her directly about the surgery. Patti smiled gracefully, but her eyes showed the quiet exhaustion of having to justify a choice made half a century earlier. The woman whose voice could shake arenas now found herself defending a minor change to her face while the world ignored her monumental catalog. The biopic-worthy legend was reduced to the singer who got a nose job. Even at 80, Patti LaBelle still carries the weight of a single decision that the public refuses to let die. 16. Kelly Rowland, breast implants that fueled endless Beyoncé comparisons. Kelly Rowland rose as a core member of Destiny's Child, harmonizing on Say My Name and delivering powerful vocals on Soldier. With her warm, natural beauty and radiant smile, she was the relatable heart of one of the biggest girl groups in history. After the group, she carved out a solo career with albums like Simply Deep while raising a family. At 18, she wanted breast implants, but her mother and Tina Knowles advised her to wait 10 years. She did exactly that. In 2008, she went from an A cup to a B, telling People magazine, "I was sick of not fitting into my tops. It's a decision I made for myself." The drama came not from the surgery itself, but from the endless Beyoncé comparisons that followed. Every appearance sparked comments. Kelly looks good, but she's still trying to keep up with Beyoncé. In a 2024 interview clip that went viral, Kelly's face tightened when asked about body image. She remained gracious, but the subtle pain was there. Friends close to her said she sometimes avoided certain angles in photos because online trolls would zoom in and dissect every change. Kelly made a thoughtful, patient decision, yet she remains forever measured against her groupmate's spotlight. The talented artist who waited 10 years for maturity still fights the narrative that she's the other one, whose beauty was never quite enough on its own. 15. Queen Latifah, breast reduction. Queen Latifah burst onto the scene in 1989 with All Hail the Queen, delivering feminist rap anthems like Ladies First. She transitioned seamlessly into acting with an Oscar-nominated role in Chicago and long-running TV success on The Equalizer. Her commanding presence and natural beauty made her a trailblazer who refused to be boxed in. In the mid-1990s, she underwent breast reduction surgery, not for aesthetics, but because her natural size caused severe back and shoulder pain that interfered with performing in daily life. It was a practical, health-focused choice. Still, the public turned it into spectacle. Every time she appeared on screen, some corners of social media would comment on her changed silhouette. She used to be thicker, or Hollywood made her change. During a 2023 awards show in Los Angeles, Latifah walked the carpet with confidence, yet behind-the-scenes footage reportedly showed her adjusting her gown self-consciously after hearing whispers. The queen, who built an empire on authenticity, had to defend a medical decision as if it were vanity. Her story became another example of how Black women's bodies are policed, no matter the reason. Queen Latifah chose function and comfort, but the industry and fans still made her pay an emotional tax for it. 15. T-Boz, the TLC Powerhouse fighting illness and unwanted changes. T-Boz Watkins delivered that unmistakable raspy voice on TLC's Diamond-certified Crazy Sexy Cool and Waterfalls. With her cool confidence and natural look, she helped define 90s R&B. Behind the hits, she battled sickle cell anemia since childhood and later survived a brain tumor. The visible changes to her face, reported rhinoplasty and fillers, came amid health struggles and industry pressure to maintain a camera-ready image. The procedures blended with the physical toll of her illnesses, creating a look that fans sometimes struggled to recognize. One of the most painful moments came during a 2024 TLC performance. As T-Boz hit the stage, close-up shots revealed a tighter face and altered features. Social media lit up with harsh comments, "What happened to her face?" and "She doesn't look like the T-Boz we love." Insiders said she privately expressed frustration that her hard-fought survival story was overshadowed by talk about her appearance. Battling chronic pain and major health scares, she still had to endure judgment over choices made to feel confident under the spotlight. T-Boz's voice remains powerful, but the woman who fought for her life now also fights the perception that her face no longer matches the icon fans remember. 14. Black Chyna chased perfection and then had to undo it all. Imagine building your entire image around an extreme, impossible body, only to wake up one day and decide to tear it all down. That's exactly what happened to Angela White, better known as Black Chyna. She rose as a bold model and reality TV figure whose over-the-top curves dominated timelines during her Rob and Chyna era. Driven by social media's ruthless perfect body standards, she went all in. Multiple breast augmentations first, followed by Brazilian butt lifts and heavy facial fillers that sculpted her cheeks, jaw, and lips into a hyper-exaggerated doll-like look. For years it worked. She lived the fantasy life. But the reversal hit like a nightmare. Starting in 2022 to 2023, Chyna began dissolving the fillers and removing implants. In raw Instagram videos, she looked straight into the camera and admitted her old face looked crazy. The aftermath was devastating. Once the fillers vanished, her skin sagged noticeably around the cheeks and jaw, leaving hollow, uneven contours that cameras cruelly highlighted. At a 2024 family gathering in Los Angeles, photos captured her instinctively touching her face while fans flooded comments with, "She looks deflated now," and "What happened to the old Chyna?" She was forced to explain the changes over and over in lives and interviews, turning her honest attempt at starting fresh into fresh public mockery. The woman who once commanded attention for her extreme beauty now faced the painful reality of loose skin, lost volume, and the haunting feeling that no version of herself ever felt like enough. 13. Wendy Williams, surgeries distorted her face. You know that host who spilled everyone's secrets with zero filter? What happens when the biggest secret becomes her own face and she loses the ability to even explain it? That's the heartbreaking fall of Wendy Williams. She built her empire in the 2000s as the fearless radio personality turned daytime talk show dominatrix, known for her bold voice and confident early look. She began with breast augmentation and liposuction to stay camera-ready. As her marriage publicly imploded in 2019 amid infidelity scandals, more work followed. Then Graves's disease and lymphedema layered on swelling and changes that mixed brutally with the surgeries. By the time she stepped away from TV, the transformation was complete. When Wendy resurfaced in 2024, the reaction was pure shock. Her once sharp, expressive face now looked dramatically altered, tighter in places, swollen in others, almost unrecognizable from the woman America tuned in to watch every day. In one widely shared clip from a New York public appearance, she struggled to form words while onlookers filmed and whispered. Later diagnosed with aphasia and frontotemporal dementia, she lost the very tool that made her famous, her voice and ability to address the changes head-on. The queen of exposing everyone else's tea could no longer narrate her own story. Tabloids and social media ran merciless before and after montages daily, turning her health crisis into entertainment. Wendy, who thrived on unfiltered truth, became trapped in a body and face that told a story she was powerless to tell. 12. Tamar Braxton. Beauty became the breaking point. She had the voice, the fire, and the face that made her stand out even in a famous family, until the pressure to look flawless pushed her over the edge. Tamar Braxton shone as the youngest Braxton sister with a powerhouse voice on hits like Love and War and raw vulnerability on Braxton Family Values. Her striking features and vibrant energy made her magnetic. The industry and family spotlight weighed heavy. She went for rhinoplasty, partly to fix breathing issues, and breast augmentation. At first it seemed like a boost, but the visible shift in her face, slimmer nose, sharper features, quickly became fuel for endless online commentary. The real collapse came in 2020. After the procedures, Tamar spiraled into a severe mental health crisis, leading to hospitalization after a self-harm incident. In raw interviews, she later described staring at her reflection post-surgery, questioning if that new face still belonged to her. Fans and media openly linked her breakdown to the constant scrutiny of her changing appearance and the pressure to stay perfect on reality TV. One leaked moment from that dark period showed her covering her face in distress during a private conversation, overwhelmed by the very changes meant to help her shine. The singer who poured heartbreak into her music found herself broken by the same beauty standards she tried to meet. Even as she returned to performing, the narrative stuck. Tamar before and after. What started as a search for confidence nearly cost her everything. 11. Essa quietly erased her most distinctive feature. Picture this, a raw, introspective R&B artist whose music feels like a diary entry millions of people relate to. That's SZA. With her 2017 album Control and 2022's SOS, she became a generational voice, intimate, vulnerable, and unapologetically herself. Her natural face, with its wider nose and soft, distinctive features, matched the honesty in her lyrics. Fans loved that realness. But the music industry's brutal beauty standards crept in. She wanted to feel more perfect. So she underwent rhinoplasty to slim and refine her nose, along with Botox and fillers for a smoother look. The change was subtle at first, but unmistakable in high definition. Her once characteristic broad nose became noticeably narrower and more refined, softening the unique ethnic beauty that made her stand out. The moment that broke hearts came during a major award speech. On stage under bright lights, SZA paused, voice softening, and admitted, "I think I did this stuff because I was a little too in my head." The room fell quiet. Backstage later, as flashes popped, fans on social media immediately split. Some praised her honesty, but many mourned, posting side-by-sides with captions like, "She doesn't look like our SZA anymore," and "Why change what was already perfect?" In one raw interview clip, her eyes glistened as she described the pressure of constantly being photographed and compared. The woman who wrote songs about insecurity had let the world's gaze push her to alter the very face she once celebrated in her music. Now, every performance carries an extra layer of sadness. Her voice still hits the soul, but part of the visual identity fans fell in love with is gone forever. 10. Tyra Banks, the supermodel who broke the effortless beauty lie. Tyra Banks ruled the 1990s as the first black woman on GQ and Sports Illustrated swimsuit covers. She walked for Victoria's Secret for a decade and built America's Next Top Model. Her naturally striking features defined supermodel perfection. In 2018, she shocked fans by revealing on People magazine that she had undergone rhinoplasty, partly medical, partly cosmetic. She was unusually honest about it. The backlash was brutal. Old clips resurfaced with zoomed-in comparisons. Fans who once praised her perfect nose now called the new version too pinched and less ethnic. During a 2025 panel in New York, a young model asked about natural beauty. Tyra's smile faltered as the audience murmured. The woman who taught confidence for years now faced accusations of hypocrisy. Her honesty became a double-edged sword. The visible change forever altered how the public saw the effortless icon. Tyra turned her experience into lessons, but the shock of her altered face still haunts her legacy. 8. Cardi B, shortcut, almost ended her on stage. You ever watch Cardi B kill it on stage and wonder what it really took for her to get that look? Cardi went from stripping to global superstar almost overnight. Bodak Yellow made history in 2017. She had the curvy figure and sharp, confident face that screamed star power. But the extreme hourglass pressure in entertainment hit her hard when she was still young and broke. In a sketchy basement apartment in Queens, New York, she paid just $800 for black market silicone butt injections. The pain was insane. No numbing, just pure fire. Later, she added breast implants, a nose job, and liposuction. For a while, it seemed worth it. Then reality hit back hard. During a big performance in 2019, old injection sites started leaking fluid right in the middle of her set. She had to stop the show abruptly, rush off stage in pain, and later endure multiple corrective surgeries. She's talked openly about the dizziness and terror that the silicone could travel to her heart. Today, she still carries scars and constant health anxiety. The woman who rapped about taking control now lives with a permanent reminder that one desperate choice nearly cost her everything. 7. Michelle, legal injections turned into a living nightmare. Let me tell you about a singer who brought nothing but raw fire to love and hip-hop until her body paid the ultimate price. Michelle had that strong R&B voice and curvaceous presence that made her unforgettable on screen. But the industry's extreme body standards pushed her to the edge. Broke and desperate for a bigger backside, she went for illegal industrial silicone injections straight into her buttocks. At first, it felt like a dream, but soon the silicone began migrating through her body. The pain became constant. By 2018, she had already been through multiple surgeries to remove toxic material. The scariest moment came right before a major ACM honors performance. Backstage, fluid suddenly leaked from the old sites. Doctors found infection and rushed her into emergency surgery to remove dead tissue. She was left with large scars and deep emotional trauma. Michelle has cried on camera warning young women not to follow her path. The voice that once shook stages now carries the heavy weight of survival and a body that will never fully heal from the mistakes she made chasing perfection. 6. Lil' Kim lost her face to trauma and endless revisions. Think about the fearless queen who changed hip-hop forever in the 90s. Lil' Kim dropped hardcore in 1996 with that naturally pretty face and bold style that made her iconic. She won Grammys and built a legendary career. An abusive relationship left her with a badly broken nose that needed reconstructive surgery. What started as healing quickly turned into multiple cosmetic nose jobs, plus changes to her cheeks, lips, and skin. Over the years, her nose became extremely small and upturned, and her entire face looked completely different. After one later procedure, she stood in front of the mirror in her New York home and didn't recognize the woman staring back. She started wearing big sunglasses and heavy makeup in public just to avoid the stares. Fans flooded the internet with before and after photos, saying they took the real Kim away. In a 2005 Hot 97 interview, her voice broke as she finally spoke about the abuse that started it all. The queen bee who once owned every stage now moves through the world, knowing her most visible feature was rewritten by pain and pressure. 5. Nene Leakes, the reality TV icon, became a walking filter. Picture the woman who stole every scene on The Real Housewives of Atlanta with her big laugh and bigger personality. Nene Leakes turned the show into her own empire. She had that strong, natural look and unapologetic energy that fans loved. Wanting to become a better version of herself, she started with a nose job in 2010, then added liposuction, breast augmentation, a BBL, and more nose revisions. Over time, her face grew tighter and strangely still. In a 2026 Breakfast Club interview, she laughed and said, "I'm a walking filter," but you could hear the weight behind the joke. During one reunion filming, cameras caught her struggling to show real emotion because her face barely moved. Fans noticed immediately and filled social media with comparisons. The woman who built her brand on raw authenticity now lives with a polished but frozen look that many say stole her spark. Nene's laugh is still loud, but her face tells a quieter, sadder story. 4. Tiny Harris traded her natural eyes for a dangerous trend. You know those catchy 90s hits that still play everywhere? Tiny Harris co-wrote No Scrubs and lived in the spotlight with her pretty face and warm brown eyes. She had that natural charm that felt real. In 2014, wanting a dramatic new look, she traveled abroad for controversial iris implant surgery to turn her eyes ice gray. The procedure wasn't FDA approved for cosmetic use in America. She came back excited and even promoted it on Good Morning America. But the problems started soon after. Doctors had warned about risks like glaucoma, cataracts, and corneal damage. In the following years, Tiny was frequently seen wearing dark sunglasses, even indoors. At a 2025 family gathering, she quietly mentioned ongoing inflammation and blurred vision, avoiding close-up photos. The woman who helped create timeless music now lives with constant discomfort and light sensitivity. What began as a simple desire for prettier eyes became a medical burden she still carries every single day. 3. LaToya Jackson, the Jackson sister who tried to run away by changing her face. Growing up in the most famous family in music couldn't have been easy. LaToya Jackson had her own talent and a naturally beautiful face that carried the Jackson glow. Trapped in a controlling and abusive marriage to her manager in the late 80s and early 90s, she desperately wanted to escape her past. She began with rhinoplasty and continued with multiple facial procedures that dramatically reshaped her cheekbones, lips, and overall structure. After finally leaving the marriage, she sat alone one night looking at old family photos. Tears rolled down her face as she realized she no longer recognized the woman she used to be. Public appearances became painful because fans and media constantly compared her to the old LaToya. In later interviews, she spoke softly about the years of control, but the changes to her face remained a permanent, visible scar from the trauma. The Jackson sister who tried to break free ended up losing the very features that once connected her to her legendary family. 2. Vanessa Williams, the first Black Miss America who refused the knife. On September 17, 1983, Vanessa Williams made history in Atlantic City as the first Black Miss America. Her radiant smile and flawless natural beauty captivated the entire country. After the crown was stripped from her months later, she rebuilt an incredible career as a singer, actress, and star. But while Hollywood demanded eternal youth, Vanessa chose the opposite. In 2024, at age 61, she openly rejected fillers and Botox, saying, "I don't do fillers. I don't do Botox anymore. I haven't had a facelift." She opted for natural aging instead. The real shock? In a world of frozen faces, her decision made her a target. On red carpets, cruel whispers followed. She aged too fast, and why didn't she fix it? A viral 2025 event clip showed her smiling warmly while fans called her tired compared to her tightened peers. The woman who survived public humiliation now faces quiet judgment for refusing to erase her real face. Vanessa paid the price of authenticity in an industry that punishes it. 1. Janet Jackson, the Rhythm Nation icon whose face no longer matched her voice. In 1986, Janet Jackson exploded with control. By 1989, Rhythm Nation 1814 made history. She sold over 100 million records and defined sensuality with her natural beauty and powerful stage presence. Over decades, her face changed dramatically. Nose significantly narrowed, cheekbones and jaw sharpened through procedures she never confirmed. The transformation became impossible to ignore. The heartbreak peaked on her 2024 Together Again tour. Fans who grew up loving the sharp, distinctive Janet of the All For You era were stunned by the tighter, less mobile face staring back. In leaked rehearsal footage from Los Angeles, her moves were still precise, but her once expressive features looked frozen. Online forums exploded, "That's not the Janet we know." The pressure from her legendary family and an industry obsessed with perfection had rewritten her most visible asset. Janet, the woman who controlled every note in her music, could never control the story about her changed face. Her silence only made the sadness louder. And that's the brutal truth behind these transformations. Some chased beauty and lost themselves in the process. If this video made you think, drop your thoughts below. Which story shocked you the most? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more real stories like this. See you in the next one.